Good morning, Flosstube. My name is Laura, and I'd like to welcome you to Stitching by the Shore, my channel all about cross stitch. Every once in a while, we talk about something else crafty, but today it is all cross stitch. If you are new to my channel, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for pressing play and giving my channel a try. I hope you like what you see, and hit like and subscribe and come back for more. I noticed that I did recently get a bunch of new subscribers, so thank you so much for hitting that button and interact, chat with me, talk with me. I'd love to hear about what you're stitching. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back each and every week and just being part of my stitchy journey. I really appreciate it. So thank you. It is very dark and dreary today. I decided I wanted to wear something sparkly because I needed to brighten things up. I have the light on right here, which is making things a little bit yellow, but with all of my shades open, I'm still pretty dreary today because the clouds are just, there's no sky. There's no blue sky. It is all clouds. And I'm a little sleepy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm ready to go take a little nap, and it's 10 o'clock in the morning. You can see I'm a little bit late starting this because I moved really slowly this morning. But hopefully, I'll wake up as we get going, and I won't be so sleepy. All right. So no finishes. Currently with my projects, there's nothing that I'm looking at working on right now that is a finish within the next week or two, probably. And you know me, I'm rotating in and out, so I'm not sure what the next finish will be. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I have about 5 pieces. No, I do have 5 pieces, not about 5 pieces that I worked on this week that are previous projects, and then I started one new start. If you are on Instagram, you saw a picture of it. Super excited to be stitching that with Gail Phillips. All right, so let's start with the projects that I have going that you have seen. So of this first 5, one, I'm looking at my notes here in front, and if you notice this, I have some red on my hands because when I make my notes for my videos, I use different color Sharpies for different things. I don't know, it's a thing. I used to do that when I would study and make notes. I would do things in all different colors. I don't know, am I the only one or does anybody else do that? So I currently have red Sharpie all over my hands. So if you see that, I haven't cut myself, I've just got Sharpie everywhere. Of the projects, 1, 2 of them I brought back that you had not seen last week, and then 3 of them were last week. So this first one was not part of last week's video stitching, but I have brought it back a little bit recently because I'd like to get a little bit farther on it. It is called Sawin in Salem, and it is from Hemlock and Rye Stitchery. This is the final piece, and I am going to stitch them in a row. You can also get the words Halloween in Salem instead. I'm not doing any words. I am just going to do a fence all the way across. I am going to do the houses as is in one single row like that, and then do the fences. And I start with the left corner, so that's why I've got the yellow house to start first. And let me see if I go this way so it's not yellow. This is what it looks like. This is 18 count old library marble from Dove Stitch. So it is a printed. If I show you on the other side, it is just completely white on the other side. So it's a printed fabric. This is what it'll look like completely. Super excited as it goes along to see this come alive on this fabric. And I decided this week I had to get the little pumpkins. These are pumpkins that go on top of a little door frame. So I really wanted to get the pumpkins done this week. So I said, that's it. I'm working my way across and jump in on the pumpkins. But I did a lot of the house here, the window, the inside, and that's the last part of the house. So that'll be that edge. Now the way I did these, I did the Christmas one also from Hemlock and Rye, and I did them all as one full piece. Now, with this one, I think it is charted all in a row, if I'm correct. I think that is the way it is. The other one was not, so I had to, or it was, but I added fencing in. I think that's what it was. So what I'll do is I'll work my way down and then probably start from the bottom and work up again, depending on how that's charted. I really need to look at the chart now that I'm thinking about it. I'm so sorry, Julie, I've just probably butchered all the instructions from your chart. But I don't know. You know what? I don't know what I'm doing, but that's how far I've done. But I don't know if I'm gonna finish one house and jump to another before I jump to another, or I might, you know, kind of mix it up a little bit this time and mix and match the houses. We'll see. I love the different colors of the houses, so it might be fun to like jump into them. But that is the first one. Next, all right, now let's see, I had spilled, make sure I was getting ready and I had spilled a little bit of my water. This time, because I had the tickle in the throat last week, I brought myself a little mug, just in case I need to take a little sip. Generally, I don't do that, but you probably don't want to hear me trying to cough and get a tickle out of my throat. Now the next one is also a digital. I put those two first so that I could show you on the iPad and then go from charts from there. So the next one, I had forgotten to show you the full piece last week because I had forgotten my iPad, but it is Autumn Towne, I believe. Yes, Autumn Towne from Autumn Lane Stitchery. And that's what the original looks like. And mine will look very similar. My fabric, while quite a little bit of a different green, is about the same-ish green, so that won't look much different. There we go. And there we go. Super excited. I really dug into this corner right here. This is an 18 count fallen leaf from To Die For Fabrics. This is there's 4 pages. This is approximately the edge of page 1, and then I am just getting into page 3, because it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can kind of see that's the first quarter about what this pattern will look like. But I definitely just kept going over here and decided to work my way down this way a little bit. So that's what I did. I love these colors. So fun. A lot of fun to do. I don't know, some of you have talked about possibly doing it. I say jump into it. I am not, as of now, I have not changed any colors on this. And I am using the DMC. It is charted in multiple things. It's charted in some variegated flosses. There might be a few DMCs, and there's also some silks. But they give DMC alternatives for everything, so that's what I'm working on. So that's Autumn Towne, because we have an autumn theme for the first few projects. So that's that one. Okay, and those were the 2 digitals. Well, my new start is a digital, but the black and white photo would be fine for that. Next, you know I had dug into this one. I decided I wanted to give it a try. It is Silver Creek Samplers, Autumn Harvest. I've had this pattern for ages. Probably one of the first patterns when I really realized there was way more to cross stitch when I started back in 2019 than there was when I did it in, I don't know, 2000 and what would it be? No, it would be, oh, way before that, I don't even know, maybe 1992, 1, somewhere around there. So clearly things had changed. I discovered the internet had a ton of stuff. My first foray into looking was at 123 Stitch. I just happened upon it. And I think this was one of the first patterns I had bought, and it sat, and I had gotten the flosses for it too, and it sat and it sat. So I decided I want to give it a try. So mine is a little bit darker, so it's going to look a little different than this one, because you know I like to sometimes change up the fabrics, and that's what I did on this one. So this right here is what I got, and it's an 18 count. Everything is 18 count, in case I forget to say. Driftwood tan from To Die For Fabrics. Now, because I made this darker, I had to change 2 things. So 720 and 972, both the yellow and the orange, had to be darkened up. They had it lighter colors. So I went with the 720 and the 972 to make it a little bit brighter, to show up on here. It was a little too muted, the called for DMC alternatives, because they do also chart in Gentle Arts. So I finished up all over here and I started to work on the wagon. So in the picture, now I'm at the part where you can see better. Starting up here and working my way. But that is in the corner that you can't see in the picture. And then the other side, which you can't see, is kind of a tree. So you'll be able to see the full piece and then work along with it. So that's what it looks like. Besides those two color changes, I did not make any other changes. I debated on the red, but I decided that it worked for me. And so I kept that one called for. So that's that. All right. I have two more projects that you have seen before. This one you saw last week. So I wasn't really necessarily doing Christmas this week because it was, kind of an autumnish week and just fall projects that I had dug out. But I was going through yesterday. I didn't know what I wanted to stitch. And I was flipping through and I said, you know what? I really like this one. So I really want to stitch it. So I pulled out my Santa's Revisited 2 and I am working on 1984 Santa. He is such a pleasure to stitch. And this pattern was a gift from a lovely Stitchy friend, so I really enjoy stitching on it because I think of her when I stitch on it. So it's like a double benefit. Now, I've been changing up the Prairie School of Santas. I am not using the traditional kind of neutrals. I'm going with Jade, 18 count. He's a little crooked. From Picture This Plus. And that's what he looks like. So I really think of here, and I really just sat down. And it's funny, this is one of those patterns, I give myself an hour, and I had a couple slots during the day yesterday that I would sit down for about an hour. And it's amazing. This is one of those patterns that when you stitch and you do an hour's worth of stitching, you're like, wow, it actually looks like an hour's worth of stitching. Where some patterns, when I do an hour's worth of stitching, there's like 5 stitches. I'm like, oh, that really doesn't look like much. But this one, he's really coming along. And a lot of fun. So, that's almost the bottom of his coat right there. Then we have his boots. And then I have the fun border to do, which, this part is super easy. And then you just add the elements into it. Now, as I've mentioned before, and I'm pretty sure I put it on the description box below. If you go to the description box below, you'll see that I list everything that I talked about today. And in some cases, I try to give links, if it's a shop or whatever. And if I do color changes, I do try to. I don't always remember to do it, I usually fill the description box out while I'm waiting for the video to upload. It's perfect kind of combination, because especially here in Delaware, it takes a lot longer for me to upload videos for some odd reason. I'm not sure why. So it gives me plenty of time to fill in that spot. So if I do forget, please let me know, and I'll always add if I needed to. I did change his face, and I did change the white that was used. But other than that, I'm using the called for DMCs. And I have traditionally been changing the Santa's faces just because they're a little too pink for me. And that's that. So super loving it on this Jade. I really enjoy that. And I know a lot of you do too. So thank you for the feedback on that. It's great to hear that I made a good choice. All right, now the last one hasn't come out for a little while, maybe a month or so. But I wanted to bring it back because I started it last September. So one of my goals for this month, as you know, I have very broad goals. But the one thing I did say was that I wanted to bring this back this month for a couple of stitching sessions at least, because I started it last September, and I started it right around my anniversary. Now, I did that because this is called Bells of Ireland from Nora Corbett, and I had Bells of Ireland in my wedding bouquet. So I thought that was a nice little tie-in. So at the end of September is my anniversary, and so that's when I started it last year. So I said, you know what? She's gonna get some love this week. So that's what I did. I pulled her out. She's getting there. I'm still on the actual stitching part than, the back stitching, but I'm getting there. Here she is. She is done on 18 count beach glass from Vintage Needlearts. And this week I gave her her second hand. I've been kind of ignoring that part because there's like 4 colors in that one little hand, so it's a little fiddly. But I said, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And then because I had those colors out, I said, let's work on her legs. So I did that. And then I still had a little bit of stitching time, so I did a little bit of this. So really, at this point, I have a little bit of this leg to finish. I didn't quite get that all done. And then I just have the flowers. The flowers come down and attach through here. And then for the most part, she's done, besides backstitch. But the actual stitching will be done. I was gonna do some here, but I was having a little trouble counting from the pattern and here, figuring out which color. So I said, you know what, let's focus on the other parts. And so that was fine, because I had kind of been putting this off anyway, so that worked out well. So there she is. I won't get her finished, obviously, before September 25th this year. Could I get the stitching done? I don't know. Maybe, we'll see. I do want to keep her in my rotation for this week, so she will get some more time this week. I don't know what my plans look like this week though, so I don't know how much stitching time I'll have. But that's where she is. And she is just plugging along. I really like it. My first Nora Corbett, first any kind of like Mirabelle, Nora Corbett, any of those types of things. So I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. A few of the symbols kind of look alike, so that's a little, you gotta double check every once in a while, but other than that, I like it. So those were all the projects that had already been started, and I just decided to pull out for this week. Now, I did have one new start, and I knew I wanted to start this, and I had talked about that a few weeks ago, and I said, hey, did anybody else want to stitch it? And Gail Phillips said, yeah, I'll stitch it. And it is Lady Halloween from Jardin, Prive. Now, you can do it a couple ways. And Gail, if you watch Gail, or look at her Instagram, because I don't think she has taped it yet, what she's doing. She is doing this all in black silk, and it's gorgeous. And she's doing it all just in the black silk. It is charted in 3 different colors. There's the black, and then there's 2 shades of gray. For now, I am doing the 2 shades of gray, although I had to change one of them, because I wanted to see what it would look like. You know, I like, when you looked closer at some of these flowers and some of the motifs, it looked kind of nice with the different variations. But of course, then the more I see of Gail's, I'm like, oh, but all black looks good too. So we'll see. Maybe there's some pulling out of colors and I go to all black. I am using Anchor, not 310, but we'll see. And there is somebody else. Oh, and I'm sorry, I didn't write it down. And she has a Flosstube. I will link her, who has also started it. And I think somebody on Instagram mentioned that they were getting it and we're going to start it too. So I'm gonna look and check that too. And so this way, maybe I can have a list of different people you can see doing it and the different colors. Gail's fabric is a little bit different than mine. And I'm the 3rd woman that I know of that is stitching it. Hers is completely different. It looks gorgeous. It's gonna look beautiful on the fabric she chose. So you can see it in a few different ways. I know, you know, I went with the purple because I showed that last week. And this is what I got. So that's how much I've got done so far. Now I did have to change, I think it was 317 or 318? 318, yeah, 318. When I went and I stitched pieces of 318, it literally just, even though it's a gray, it melted right into, the color melted right into the purple. They might as well have been the same. I stitched it and I said to Mo, can you see that gray? And he's like, what gray? And I showed it really in front of his face. He's like, no, I can't see it at all, even up close in person. So I said, well, that's not gonna work. So instead of the 317, I used, oh, it's right here. Let me just pull in. I wanna make sure I say the right thing. 415. I grabbed 415. I had looked through, I went through what grays I had. And that one seemed to be kind of purpley because I wanted it to kind of match this, but not so much that it would fade in. And so that's why I tried it. You know, here it's a little bit on with the skull, and then the darker gray, the 317 is there, which will work, should work on here. But this is the 415, and I wanted to try that. So there is, I think down right around here, underneath the bat, there is a kind of a floral part of a whole motif that uses the 2 grays. So I think I want to try that and see what it looks like and make a decision as to whether or not I'm going to keep it in the 3 colors or if I'm going to go with just the all black and then have to do some ripping out. But that what it looks like so far. It's a lot of fun. All the little motifs make it so much fun to stitch because you've got all these tons of little finishes. So this is not a lot of stitching time. And I had to pull out some stuff that I had actually stitched with that other color. So that's included even. And so I'm really excited with what I got done so far. So again, I know some of you said you're tempted. You already have a lot of Halloween on your plate. I get it. There's a few Halloweens that have recently come out that I've been like, oh, those look good too. But I don't know if I'm necessarily going to jump into any more Halloween. We'll see. We'll see. But if you do end up deciding to give it a stitch, let me know. I'd love to see what you plan on doing with it. So that's that. All right. That's it for stitching. That's all I did this week. Not too bad. Plans. I would like to continue working on Bells of Ireland, obviously, because I want to give that some more time as we lead up to September 25th. And then Lady Halloween, I do want to continue with that. And there is a hashtag, before I forget, it's hashtag Lady Halloween SAL, Stitch Along Sal. So I know I don't post a ton on Instagram, but I did post my start, and I know there's some other posts on there as well, so you can see what's going on with that if you want to check out the hashtag, and I'll list it in the description box in case you forget. Those are the only 2 things I know I want to stitch. I'm really loving that Santa, 1984 Santa, so he could very well make an appearance, but from there I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening, so you'll just have to come back and see. All right, that's it for plans. I got nothing else. I have no shopping, none whatsoever. Nothing came, nothing at all. I have a few things I know that I'll be able to show you next week, but unless you want to see the umbrella that I use, I bought an umbrella for the sun. It works for the rain too, but apparently it has some sort of reflecting thing, so it cools you when you're in the sun, but it's also UV blocker, because you know I end up standing in the sun a lot with like games and other stuff, and me and sunshine really don't get along very well. So that was my big purchase for the week. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet. Just came yesterday. I have to take it out of the box, see what it looks like, check it out and try it. But yeah, that's my big purchase for this week. That's all I got. So nothing exciting. So this will definitely, I always say, oh, it's gonna be a shorter video. Today it will be, because we are already into giveaways, and I don't have a lot of life stuff. Life's been kind of a little quiet, so which is fine. Quiet's fine. Giveaways. I do have an old giveaway that I need to jump back to. So with my giveaways, if you win, I give you 2 weeks to get back to me. I just don't have space to keep holding these things. And I get it, sometimes you're behind and you may not see it, and I'm really sorry about that, but I want to get this stuff shipped out and moved on. I gotta try to, especially now, I gotta keep it neater here now. There's nothing here, so I want to make sure I keep it neat. But anyway, even up in Connecticut, I just don't have the space to continue to have extra giveaways. So anyway, long and short is, after 2 weeks, because I always keep the names until I ship this out, just in case. Oh, you know what? And I can show you, because I kept this in the plastic, thinking I would ship it out. I'll show you mine, my copy. My copy. This is what I was giving away 2 weeks ago. Was the Autumn Harvest from Silver Creek, and that's that right here. So it's still in plastic. And I kept the names right in a little baggie here so that I always keep the names until I ship it out. So this way I don't have to relook and rewrite everybody's names. And I know I could do the comment picker and all that, but you know, I'm old school. I think you figured that out by now. All right, so our new winner, ooh, the pieces are stuck together. It's humid here. I don't know if it's humid where you are. Everything's kind of sticky. Still stuck together. Okay, here we go. And the new winner is Cindy. Ooh, I almost showed you the side. You know what, I'm gonna put it against my yellow, my purple. Cindy Flinchbaugh. Now, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name, Cindy. I'm going by the Harbaugh brothers, football coaches, and so I'm going with Cindy Flinchbaugh. And if it's wrong, I apologize. But congratulations, Cindy. You have won the Autumn Harvest. So I'm going to put your name in there now. And if you could just get back to me with your address, I'll send it out to you. I've got the shipping routine down here pretty well packed. I am not closing my giveaways to international as best I can. I'm shipping. I know there was, with Australia, I know there was some issues with shipping. If you win and you're in Australia, I will do my best to get to you. And if there's the hold on it, I will just hold it for you until, I'm not sure if it's a hold on your end or our end, I don't remember. But please feel free to put your name in for a giveaway. But if I have to hold it, I am happy to in that case, because that's not your fault. I mean, it's the Postal Service. And just as an FYI, in case you hadn't heard, I think it's starting October 3rd until right after Christmas, the post office is charging a service charge on every single package that goes out. So if you are planning on shipping things, be aware that it's going to cost a little bit more, and that's across the board for all shippers. I happen to use a company called Pirate Ship. Fantastic if you ship. I had used them when I had the Etsy store and my other store, and that's how I've been shipping out my giveaways, and they are fabulous. Supposedly, they said at the beginning of October, they might have a new shipper that may cost less to ship. I don't know. We will see. But I plan on, everything goes in a package kind of rate, and everything gets shipped safely to you. So I will continue to that, but I just wanted to give you a heads up in case you are shipping out for holidays or anything else, that it is going to cost you a little bit more. And then, of course, at the end of January, they usually up the rates again somehow. So I don't know. They keep saying, oh, well, we haven't raised the rates, and they do every year. So that's not true. Anyway, this is this week's giveaway that I am giving away. And it comes with, because this is the snaps, it comes with the snaps. There's a little bit of the pattern there, so I don't want to show that. But it's Bent Creek September Brings. It's a cute little pattern. All right, so the winner of this one. And as usual with the giveaways, if you could please be 18 or older. Please don't say giveaway or free. And I would really appreciate if you're a subscriber. I will not check to see if you're a subscriber. And you do not have to be a public subscriber. If you would choose to keep your subscriptions private, I respect your privacy. Okay, that's all the rules. And they're stuck together again. I'm telling you, this weather. I took Shamrock for a walk yesterday, and it was like, oh, I can't breathe. All right, so the winner is, and I'm going to put it against here again, Linda Griffin. So Linda, congratulations. You won the September Brings pattern. So I'm going to put your name in this here, so we have it. Ooh, that's really a good attachment there. And if you could please get back to me with your address. Remember, there's two ways that I list, but I've had people find me in other ways, and go for it. But my Gmail address is down below, and as well as my Instagram. So if you'd want to send me an email, or if you want to send me a DM on Instagram, my Gmail, I don't have it set on my phone, so I usually have to go on the laptop. So it does take me a day or two sometimes to get those, and then it just depends on if I happen to be on the laptop. But I do, as soon as I see it, I will answer right away, just so you know I've seen it. But if I am a couple days, either for some reason Gmail messed it up and didn't send it, or maybe I didn't see it, you can feel free to give me a little nudge so that I know that you've won it. But that is, that's this week's. So congratulations. All right, so we have two there. Now this week's a little different. Sometimes you know that I like to do trims, and I like to do other things besides just patterns. And this week I'm gonna do ribbon. And there's two different ribbons you're gonna get. And because there's only two, you're getting 3 yards of each. It's a really, really pretty ribbon. And I'm I'm gonna put it up against the purple actually, so you can see. So you will get a total of 6 yards of ribbon, 3 black and 3 white. What's really interesting, this is not a wired ribbon. It is 50% spandex though. So it does actually pull, interestingly enough. I don't want to pull too much. But it is a beautiful pattern. And I thought these could be useful in so many different ways for finishing, however you wanted to. So 3 yards of white and 3 yards of black. It's the same exact pattern, just the 2 different colors. And it's already all cut and ready to be put. You know, I'll put it in something before I put it in the shipping bag. But that's this week's. Now, usually I ask a question and I ask you to say a word. I was just too darn tired to figure out a question this morning. And I had one in my head last night and then I forgot it and I didn't write it down. So there's no question this week. I would ask you to say the word blue. So feel free to comment. I love comments. So I would love it if you want to comment about anything on the video. But if you want me to put your name in for the giveaway, just please somewhere say the word blue. That's all you got to do this week. No question, no specific question. If you want to ask me something, go right ahead. But since I clearly love blue, my entire first floor is blue and up the staircase. Then it's a slightly different gray up there. But blues, grays, and then the bedrooms I did in a nice, like a light yellow. So that's the extent of the colors in this house. Blue being the predominant one. And you can usually tell by my fabrics as well. So blue is the word that we're gonna go with. And I'll put your name in for that. So that is it for the stitching. So if you do not want to hear about life, then I hope you have a fabulous week and I will see you next week. Life-wise, there's really not a lot to talk about. I'm here in Delaware. I think you figured that out by what's behind me. You can usually tell my location now by where I'm filming. Let me see. When did we see? Had we already seen Megan? We might have. We'd gone. I don't remember. We'd gone to dinner last Friday night, which was really nice. And yeah, we had already seen Megan. She's had a couple of away games that we've just watched on streaming. Speaking of her, if you all could keep her in your thoughts, she went to the trainer because she's having some sciatic-like issues, and the trainer thinks it might be a disc. They're not sure. So she's got to go see the team doctor on Monday, and odds are she will need an MRI so that they can adequately, she's got really most of the classic symptoms of some sort of sciatic issue. Where it's coming from is just the question they need to figure out, whether it's muscular or disc or whatever. So apparently she can still play. I'm a little leery about that, but she's been cleared according to her feelings. So I'll be texting her. She's got a game tonight away, so I'm going to text her basically, be smart about how you feel. And if you don't think you can play, then don't play. So anyway, if you could keep her in your thoughts, and hopefully we will know more after she gets the doctor's appointment in. And we don't want to mess with this. You know, I don't want her to have this bothering her for years and years. So I want to get it fixed and get it going and moving on. So that's her. Connor seems to be doing well. Actually, Mo had a long talk with him yesterday. He had some questions about a school project. It was like some family history stuff. And so Mo talked to him, and he's really adjusting well, and he is feeling good right now. So I am so super excited to hear that. It was a little rocky, a little very at the beginning, but he seems to be settling in really nicely. So I am thrilled. My mother's heart is thrilled to hear that. So that's really good. Other than that, I got nothing. It has been hot and muggy here. It's actually even muggy in here. I also am of an age, most of you know I am in my early 50s, and I think I am starting to more and more experience some hot flashes, which in this hot weather is really not a lot of fun. So if you have any tips or tricks, please let me know. But, you know, I'm just doing my best. So I'm trying to get out walking with Shamrock, but it's been a little kind of yucky because there's just really no air to breathe. So we just do small little things, and I feel bad. I don't want to take him too long because you hear him panting, and he's older now. So then I feel guilty that I'm overdoing him. Next thing you know, I'll be carrying him. I don't know if anybody ever said, if you remember, there was an Amazon ad, and it was for, so there was a little owner, and the little doggy had a little broken leg, and you could see him watching all the doggies running, and he looked really sad. And so the whole idea was, you know, the owner went on Amazon and got an order right away. Well, it was like a little baby, well, it was a dog pouch, I guess, and the dog was in the pouch, and he was like smiling as whatever a dog can smile, and so thrilled because he was walking around now rather than being stuck in sidelines. So I could see myself doing something like that. But once I go there, Shamrock will never want to walk again, so I haven't gone there yet. But yeah, that's really not a lot right now. We're kind of in a slow time, and I'm okay with that, you know. And things ebb and flow, and I'm going to enjoy the quiet. We'll see what happens next week. I think Megan can have all her appointments in Pennsylvania, but obviously if there are issues, then there might be some trips back and forth to try to get her to some appointments that she may need. So we'll see. But anyway, that's it. It is a short one this week, just a little over half an hour. I had my stitching, but I didn't have a lot else going on this week. So not a lot else to talk about. I hope you are well. I hope you are safe. I hope you're not as warm as I am. I'm gonna go and drink some cold water after this, I think. But anyway, I hope you're getting lots of stitching in as well. And until next time, happy stitching.